Welcome to Western Oregon Living. I'm your host, Sabrina Reese, and today we have Tim Hicks, owner of Connexus Conflict Management. Thank you, Tim. How are you today?
Good, Sabrina. It's good to be here.
Now, can you tell us about what you do?
Sure. To say it simply, I help people communicate when things are difficult. So communication, conflict management, conflict resolution in a variety of different settings.
Can you tell us what you specialize in with conflict?
Well, there's two main areas. Anything that has to do with families, and then a lot of work in the workplace, organizational work.
Can you kind of tell us, what do you do with conflict? Do you help teenagers? Do you help adults? Do you help adolescents? Kind of where?
All of the above, yeah. You know, all of us in life, we have conflicts, and I've often said to students and others that we often think of when a conflict happens that it's kind of a stain on the fabric of our relationship. But in fact, conflict is just an inherent part of being together. If you and I spent the day together, there's a good chance we might get in a small conflict about something or other. And often those conflicts aren't difficult to resolve. You know, I want to go to a Thai restaurant and you want to go to a Mexican restaurant. We'll work it out. But often, as we know, sometimes the conflicts get more painful and more difficult and harder to deal with. And we tend to want to avoid conflict. We tend to see conflict as a sign of failure, when really, in fact, if you look at it another way, conflict can be seen as kind of a bit of information that you can use to maybe improve the relationship. But one way or another, you know, we have decisions to make together. It's not easy to live together, whether in family or at the workplace. And some of the more serious conflicts are those that we have with people that we care most about. And so my work is, you know, at those times when it's either really hard to work it out with the other person, or we're afraid that if we try it's going to get worse, then bringing in what's called a third party, a mediator or somebody to help with that communication can really help people kind of sort through the thicket of conflict and get to some agreements and learn from it and hopefully improve things. Yeah. So
what is a mediator?
Yeah. So a mediator is we call them a third party, somebody who doesn't have any skin in the game. Is the one goal that the mediator has is to help those who are having the difficulty communicate more effectively and solve their problems more effectively. Mediation is sometimes called facilitated negotiation, because in fact when we're trying to work through problems, we're negotiating. And so I'm trying to facilitate that negotiation so that it's most effective for both parties. And one of the things that we talk about in mediation is that we're trying to come up with agreements that take into account the interests of everybody involved, of both sides, if there's just two people. Because often when we're fighting with each other, we're most interested in, you know, I want to win, and I don't want to lose, and I'm really suspicious and distrustful of the other side. Whereas in mediation, we're really trying to bring to the surface what your needs are, what my needs are, and then what options do we have for making decisions that take into account both of those. And it allows people in the mediation setting to be creative in their problem solving and to not have to worry about losing. And the way it works is we come together, we meet in the room together, and we begin to talk about what the issues are and what people are trying to achieve and what they're afraid of and what possible options they have for solving the problem, and build agreements. Yeah.
That's really big to build on those agreements, because I feel like overall people do have a goal, but they're having a hard time getting to that goal, especially when children are involved.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, it is a fascinating subject inherently, conflict resolution and conflict. So yeah, if anybody who's listening has a question, email me at tim@connexusconflictmanagement.com.
Thank you so much, Tim.
Thank you for
being
having
here.
Yeah.
And thank you all so much for watching Western Oregon Living. Stay tuned and let's see what else Western Oregon has to offer you. I'm your host, Sabrina Reese, and have a wonderful